Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Stay strong during bad times. I'm going to tell you what. It's easy to be strong when everything is going well. You know what? It's easy. Seriously, it's easy. You just going with the flow. And we all have had those seasons when everything you touch turned to gold. It's like some people call it luck. Some people call it being blessed. Some people be like, hey, I just got it like that, however. And they real strong. But usually, I'm going to tell you what. You find out how strong you are not when things are going well, when they're going poorly, when they're going bad. That's when you really find out your true strength. And that's when you got to stay strong. That's when it's needed. In fact, here's the thing. You don't even have to be strong during good times. That's easy. You just have to maintain. Indeed, there's a lot of people when everything is going well, they look like they're on top of the world. We've all seen them. You know, they making money on their job. They might have a happy marriage or relationship. They got the nice home and nice car, and they looking on top of the world because they got all of this thing to look back at. But what happens, there are millions of stories like this. All of a sudden, they lose that job they making money on, right? They lose that job. All of a sudden, everything else falls apart. Like I'll use the example of men. You get a man, they making all that money, got the house, got the beautiful wife and everything. He looks real strong. But see, that strength is based on not himself, not his inner self, but on his material, right? The perception. Because when this has happened a whole lot, unfortunately, people have been killed behind this. The man loses his job. And he can't get it back right away, and he was making a lot of money. All of a sudden, he's not as confident, he's not as happy. But then other things happen. He might lose that house, he lose that nice car. And then he might find out the hard way that woman who thought loved him, she really had a broke dude as her side piece, and is all of a sudden ready to roll out because she was only with the guy for his money, all right? And you find out this guy really wasn't strong. That guy wasn't strong. See, real strength isn't on what we have on the outside of us. Real strength is within. That's when we really see it, where all hell is breaking loose, when everything is falling apart. That's when we find the strength. And that strength ain't based on how much money you got. It's not based on your status. And it's not based on how you look. It's not based on even how popular you are. It's based on what's in your spirit. That's the key thing to understand. You got to be strong within your spirit to go through all of it, right? If you look at the biblical story of Job, Job went through a whole lot. Good gracious. He went through a whole lot. Now, whether someone takes that story literally or someone takes it as an allegory or, just a lesson, whatever. Job went through all of that stuff, and yet he stayed strong. That's where that strength that anybody has to be emotional. It can't be based on the outside. It can't be based on how many credit cards you got. It can't be based on driving that car or having that status, which is artificial. It really is. It's based on what's within. Like, I remember when I was in school at American University, and I've mentioned this guy because this is an individual. I've never met him personally, but I always remember him, and that's one of the very, very few regrets that I just didn't stop and talk with him. Like when I'll be driving up to, American University, and actually just going to the gym up there in American University in D.C. And, I would have to drive through Tinley Circle in D.C. People from D.C. know what that is. There was a older black man who apparently was his spot, right? And I noticed he would have a chair and a table, He would have a chair and a table. In fact, I would see him, I was first impressed, he would clean his table with some cleaner and everything. He had a tent right there and everything. And he would just sit there. But it was like despite everything, he kept himself clean. He had an aura to him. To the point, I would see various people who would just stop and talk with him, right? And no, that wasn't. Let's be real. That wasn't a good position to be in. I mean, homelessness is not something to be admired, and it's a real issue in this country that we really need to address. We really need to address. I mean, it needs to be addressed more on a political level, public level, right? You know. However, the ultimate form of the government is going to be in January. We already have the, President-elect Biden, but we're not sure about the Senate yet because of runoffs in Georgia. People got to get that homelessness in there. I'm sorry I had to just share that part, but I think back to this guy, and despite everything, you could see the strength within him. You could see the strength within him, right? And, no, he wasn't in an optimal situation, of course, but he still maintained that strength. And I've seen others, I've known people who were going through some hell. They were going through some hell in their outside life, but they still stayed strong. There's an old friend I know, and she went through hell since she was a child. But the thing I loved about her, and when let me be clear when I say love, not a romantic love, but a true love, the agape love, like you just admired this person. I seen, despite all the hell she went through, she went through hell. Her faith made her strong. Her faith in God made her strong, and seriously, the type of stuff is because she was also very attractive. And there'd be times I had to tell some guys trying to come at her wrong, that's my cousin, I will fuck you up. Seriously, excuse my language, but that's how it was. But I still noticed how she carried herself. It was admirable. But she had strength inside of her, strength that she has to this very day. Like all the stuff she's gone through, somebody lesser wouldn't be able to go through it. And, and it's tough. Look, it's not easy. It's not easy because we live in a culture which is totally outside focused. We blame stuff on the outside, or we think we got the resources and stuff on the outside, or even look a certain way on the outside, everything's good. No, those can go away. Those can go away. Those resources can go away. Your outer looks can go away. Your outer status can change in a second. Your stats can change just with, a meeting in human resources on your job. But that inner strength, which you have inside of you, that the supreme being gave to you, however term you want to use for that supreme being, gave to you. That's where your power is, and that's where you have to stay strong. And that's when you have it even during bad times. So I want y'all to think about that. I'm seriously, it's, I know I get on here and, I'm talking inspirational stuff, but just in life, one of the toughest, you're going to have to go through some bad moments. You're going to have to. You are going to have to go. It's going to happen. It's going to be inevitable. The thing is, how you handle those bad moments really speak to who you are. Because when something bad happened, but you got that strength to stay strong through it, you'll make it through it. All right? I want y'all to really think about everything I'm talking about today. All right? And y'all have a great Sunday, but really think on this. Peace and blessings.